Hello everyone, I'm Brian Croydragon, and welcome back to Vox Adventures. Now let's see what we've got today. 26 minutes, can we fit a dungeon in? No dungeon, so let's just take a nature walk. Beautiful mesas. You know, the easiest way to get a terracotta is just to have a home where there is plenty of it. That's why besides Doc being my friend, it's also one of the reasons I have an embassy in Lavender Town. Granted, Doc might not be the sanest person, and yeah, he can be degrading sometimes, but he's got some good things about him. I don't know what's more surprising, that my shield is down here, or that I haven't activated my totem yet. I really have no idea what caused my OBS to crash yesterday. I was trying to it was window capture, and the next thing I know, it just caused OBS to crash. Okay, not so high. I want to save the totem for the boss fight. Okay, take it slow, because we do not want to Well, I've got bandages on me, so I don't think it matters if I use bat form. Okay, keep yourself low. Okay, try to make the river. Now, if you should be planning to do boss or a dungeon, try to save your totem of undying. But occasionally, you do activate it when you don't mean to. I mean, even as a vampire who doesn't take fall damage, for some reason, it does activate if you fall a long way. And now I'm gonna put my armor on because deserts are husk country. And as any vampire knows, husks, they don't fall under the they know no truce. It's just a skeleton. What is... skeleton again. And I think I'll take shelter right here. Now, let's do some reading. Carrying on from yesterday, or at least where we would have, if not for the crashing and the verbing. Excuse me. The land between two rivers. People who settle in one place have time to build cities, learn crafts, create art, even develop science. But first they must grow food, and to do that they must have water. Thousands of years ago, the Sumerians found water and rich soil in a place that today we call Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers. There they developed irrigation and other methods that helped them grow so much food that some of their people were free to do other things, like create one of the world's first civilizations. First highway. The Sumerians may have been the first people to use boats. In fact, some experts believe that the Egyptians learned about sea-going boats from Mesopotamia. Building blocks. Unlike the Egyptians and the Greeks, the Mesopotamians didn't have stone to build their cities. They used the only material available, sun-dried mud bricks. The bricks worked well for centuries, but earthquakes, wars, and time eventually made them crumble. Enough remains, however, to tell us that at about the time that the Egyptians built their first pyramid, the Sumerians also built pyramid-shaped temples called ziggurats. These man-made mountains and the surrounding buildings were cities in themselves, where hundreds of people lived and worked. Mass production. The Sumerians used their invention, the potter's wheel, to turn out an amazing variety of urns, jars, and vases. They decorated pottery with scenery from their daily lives, religious rituals, and mythological tales. 9:18 a.m. Yeah, we got plenty of time. Arts and entertainment. Most buildings from Mesopotamia are gone, but artwork created by these people is still being discovered today. Mesopotamian art honored kings and glorified the gods. This beautiful lyre accompanied a Sumerian king to his tomb. It was made of wood and decorated with a bull's head of gold and lapis lazuli. Some of the first stringed instruments, like the lute and the lyre, also came from Mesopotamia. The Egyptians and Greeks later adapted these instruments to make their own music. Ancient treasure. When Sumerian kings and queens died, they took jewels, golden weapons, and other valuables with them to the afterlife. And to make sure they would have plenty of help, all of their servants were killed and buried too. The first writing. At least 300 years before, the Egyptians discovered... let's run that again. At least 300 years before the Egyptians developed hieroglyphs, the Sumerians invented a way to keep track of sacks of grain and cattle. They used simple drawings called pictograms to record information on clay tablets. For example, a picture of a cow's head meant cow. Later they combined pictograms to express ideas. When put together, pictures of a bowl and a head meant to eat. These pictures gradually became stylized red-shaped characters that stood for sounds. This was the first real writing. Today we call this ancient written language cuneiform. The first book. The first epic poem ever written down was the story of Gilgamesh, a hero who was 1/3 human and 2/3 god. Kings and warriors. For the people of ancient Mesopotamia, war was a fact of life. Like the seasons, it came and went, and then returned. Each city had its own king who led his army in battle, often to fight over precious water. But Sargon I changed Mesopotamia forever. King of Agade, he conquered all the great Sumerian cities and brought them under his rule. The dynasty he founded lasted only 200 years, but his idea of a single government inspired others who came after him. A divine ruler. Naram-Sin was Sargon's grandson, and a mighty warrior in his own right. He was also the first king to declare himself a god. This style, I can never figure out how that's pronounced. Nestella shows him wearing this horned, and this one again. This stela shows him wearing the horned helmet of the gods and trampling the bodies of his enemies. The Great Lawgiver. Accountants may have been the first writers, but lawyers and judges weren't far behind. Archaeologists have found thousands of clay tablets containing realms, deeds, and contracts. Many Sumerian kings created codes of law, but the best known came from a Babylonian king named Hammurabi. The Code of Hammurabi was chiseled in stone almost 4,000 years ago. It listed 300 punishments for crimes ranging from cutting down a neighbor's tree to murder. Animal rights. Sheep and cattle were as precious as gold in ancient times. Even dogs like this bone mastiff were important. They were used for hunting and war. So Hammurabi's code included many let's run it again. So Hammurabi's code included many laws that outlined proper medical treatment for both humans and animals. Myth and magic. What causes disease, brings the rain, or hides the sun during an eclipse? All over the world, people believe such things were the work of gods. In Egypt, China, and Greece, in the jungles of Mesoamerica, and the deserts of the Middle East, people worshipped gods and secret cults, or at huge temples that rose like man-made mountains. Along with the rituals, people created stories, myths to explain how the world worked. Okay, now just gonna close window capture, and I'll have my fingers crossed that it does not crash. Thank you. Thank you so much. Now, I'm not going to take off my armor because I'll be warping to Cavern very soon. Because, let's see, take it off and then just put it back on. It's erased. There's an Enderman right there. But then again, you should know what an Enderman looks like. Unless you're a first-time watcher who's never played Minecraft before. Hello, what have we here? Okay, let's be careful. Don't want to accidentally activate the totem before we head over to Cavern. When the aquatic update comes, I'll be walking across the ocean floor. No one's gonna make a monkey out of me. No one gets diabolical sipping tea. Make some room here. Here's the disposal. Put these in. If you have an axe on you, don't go around the tree, go through it. Okay, 6 minutes. Let's try to get some reading in. Whoops. Forgot to close that. Death and burial. Many ancient peoples believed that a dead person's spirit lived in another world, a place often located beyond a mysterious dark river. The Greeks called the river the Styx, and their legend said that a ferryman carried each soul across to the kingdom of the dead. The Egyptians... this one again, that sounded mispronounced. The Egyptians sailed the bodies of their pharaohs up the Nile to their tombs in places like the Valley of the Kings. New World Mummy. The Chimu people of ancient Peru mummified the bodies of their dead. They curled the body up and then tied it and wrapped it in cloth. Like other ancient peoples, the Chimu then placed food and other things in the grave for the dead person's spirit. 4 minutes. Let's see here. Rain, rain, go away. Many cultures have told stories about a great flood that, far back in the past, drowned almost everyone on Earth. The earliest flood story that scholars have discovered came from the Sumerians of Mesopotamia. The story, told in an epic poem called Gilgamesh, is a lot like the biblical story about Noah. According to Gilgamesh, 4 gods decided to destroy the world with a flood. But a 5th god warned one man... Let's run it again. But a 5th god warned one man named Utnapishtim, who built a boat for his family and some wild animals. Noah's Ark. In the biblical story, Noah's Ark sailed for 40 days and nights while the rains came down, but in Gilgamesh, the downpour lasted only 7 days. Yeah, 3 minutes, let's see. Sacred cows. Cows have played important roles in religious ceremonies since civilization began. Often they were sacrificed to please the gods. Bones were an important part of Persian cult. Mithraism, which later became popular in Rome. Wait, let's try again. Bones were an important part of a Persian cult. Mithraism, which later became popular in Rome. Mithras was the Persian god of light. An ancient myth said that he killed a bone and that the animal's blood gave life to the universe. In other civilizations, such as India's Hindu culture, cows are sacred and must not be killed or eaten. A bone's life. Many Egyptian Egyptians sacrificed cows and bones to the gods, but one cult treated bones like kings. The members of that cult worshipped the Apis bull, which lived in a temple and was tended by priests. When an Apis bull died, it was mummified just like a pharaoh. Okay, 1 minute, so that's it for reading for now. Thank you. I'd prefer if it just closed, so I don't have to go to window capture and remove that also. If I find any temples that are dedicated to cows on here, I'm sure I'll be the one to blame. Because let's face it, I travel the wilderness, coming across towns. Who knows what I'll come across. Actually, I'm curious, what's next on the... Whoops. We'll get to that when we come to it. There's what, 3 of us here? We can take them. Maybe. I stand corrected. I can tell which one's Slate. Holy crap, how's my shield still... If it's still... If my shield isn't broken by the time this is over... I will go to the Nether and purposely and intentionally jump into the lava. 75%. Looks like things are going well. Well, the target can't be me. I'm not even in the arena. I was about to say, sometimes a Totem of Undying isn't the best loot, but I'm decided against it. Don't want to waste a totem. Or maybe I should. That way my suffering will be longer. And I'm just gonna put it in here. Well, looks like my lava jumping will be not so let's do some reading. Wait. There we go. Hear my prayer. People every let's try that again. People everywhere in the ancient world believed that gods controlled almost every part of daily life. Gods could make people sick or cure them. They could bring rain or make crops wither in the fields. In many cultures, people tried to please the gods by leaving offerings or tokens or thanks for prayers that had been answered. In Greece and Rome, sick people visited temples dedicated to Asclepius, the god of medicine. They often left a miniature model of an arm or leg to remind the god of their illness, or as a thank you for curing them. Can you speak up? The Egyptian ear tablet wasn't left by a person suffering from an earache. It was supposed to help the gods hear the person's prayer. Okay, one more. And then I'll go and jump into lava in the Nether. The rise of Christianity. The first Christians were converted Jews living in the Roman-occupied territory of Palestine. Over time, the new offshoot of Judaism spread to Rome itself. At first, the Romans thought that Christianity was just another strange cult that buried its dead in underground cemeteries called catacombs. But because the Christians refused to worship the official gods and seemed to defy the emperor's authority, Christians were often treated as criminals. This persecution finally ended when the Roman Emperor Constantine issued orders that Christianity should be tolerated. Holy books. The Celts who lived in Ireland eventually gave up their old gods and became Christians. Monks made beautifully illustrated copies of the Bible, like the Lindisfarne Gospels, to honor their god. For God's sake. There we go. And yes, continuing on our way. You know, it would probably just be easier to go into somewhere where I've mined and jump into the lava lair, but it would probably be more dramatic for it to be the Nether. Wild sheep. Even though I'm a citizen of Greenleaf, an assistant and acting mayor in Gimli's absence. I'm still not gonna do poaching. Especially if that sheep belongs to someone. Jeez, do we need a bigger Nether portal? What are we gonna be doing? Leading invasions of the Nether? No, this isn't good enough. Let's see if I can make this as good as possible. Okay, here we go. I said if my shield was still not broken by the time Snape was dead, I'd come here and jump into the lava, and that's exactly what I'll do. There, it's done. And of course we're back at Raid Streamtown. Hey, is there a ender chest anywhere in here? As you can see, I've expanded the mine track. I should think about getting some redstone tracks. No ender chest in here. Nia, you got... No. God's sake, closing the door. Were you raising a barn? Yeah, my redstone balcony is very, very good. I guess not. Yeah, I thought I saw an ender chest. Hello? Does anyone have an ender chest? In this town? Ender chest. And still, no one has put a penis back on that since the time I came here and, discovered someone had. Hello, no. Can't see if there's an ender chest in here. You know, I could probably just warp home, but this is more fun, just seeing me wander around looking for an ender chest. Wait, I don't think I know where I'll be able to find an ender chest. Wait, no. Oh, great devil Chicky! Grant me an ender chest! Yeah, to hell with you. Or just take... What the... Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Let's see here. Whoops. Rusted keys. Pretty sure that will go for a lot. Unbelievable. The weather called for rain right here, but right now most of the rain seems to be in here. Nothing aquatic update's not up yet. Hasn't been released yet. Well, that would be it for today, everyone. I'm Brian Croy Dragon signing out. Stay Shrey!